Good afternoon. It's nice to be back. I had a little bit of some spiritual warfare going on, and I thought about what my dad would once tell me. He says, really, throw down the carnal weapons and put on the spiritual weapons, and that being Ephesians 6:10. Really, all we have to do is occupy till the Lord comes, and that might be vacuuming, that might be the labors of the day, the things that we might have to do. Now we're coming upon the ninth of Av. A lot of scholars are counting on this to be the tying of the knot, as God for a minute often refers to it. Listen, this is possibly the big moment, or it could be just another day. But what I have been inspired to do in this video is to say this to encourage you that there are a lot of moments ahead that we are going to have the homecoming of the Lord coming soon. I don't want to talk about what the world is doing right now because I can tell you already know. I've already got a firsthand look at some of the stuff this morning, and it just really, even with the warfare, the spiritual armor on, we're not to invite any of it into our home, invite anything like that into our carnal bodies, mind. We drink water. And one of the things that Pastor Mike, if you haven't already listened to Pastor Mike Wilson, he talks about how important fasting and praying is. I've been dealing with so many different people with different situations, and especially what goes on online. You have to purge a lot of it. And this is really about getting a daily assessment of what's going on with us daily. But it becomes so overwhelming that daily, if we're not in a daily routine of watching and seeing what the Lord is showing us, we could easily slip into the old ways or the anything that is not of the Lord. So this is to edify us. In this case, is that staying in the Word. And I have a really good video that I'm watching right now, and I'm sure you've watched it. It's Watchman River. He's really positive. Sometimes I listen to some of his videos. Sometimes I have very little time. My time is limited because I was recovering from a really bad setback, and it took me a couple weeks to get through that. And, I'm just getting back on my square. But I want to leave you with this. My dad once told me he was a prophetic person, and he told me this about 35 years ago, that United States wouldn't even be a concept in the end days times of the church. And that what's going on with Russia, with the ports being shut down, that the grain can't come in, that it would take a day's wage to get enough grain. This is like really the end point for what's happening in Ukraine. And with the dollar being squeezed out and so many other news stories, this is really where we are at the end game with the end times of the church. How long does the church stay here is what I ask myself oftentimes. Like, does a church stay for the length of this period, or does the church stay till the cutoff point with the 7-year tribulation? So we all speculate and we ask these questions, but really, I don't think we should be asking the question. I think we need to just wait and watch and look forward to maybe a rapture possibility on the 9th of Av. Well, with that, I just want to say have a blessed day. praise the Lord for this day that we got a chance to talk. And I will see you soon. God bless.